everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about something that I have just been up and down fascinated by since I saw it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier yesterday, Friday, whatever, today's Saturday, yesterday, which is Madripoor. Now, Madripoor has a history in the comic books, if you know. It's one of the things, it's most synonymous with Wolverine, as it was introduced in a Wolverine comic book where he went to Madripoor to like lay low, and his name was like Patch. It was like Patches down there, whatever. He opened up a bar. That was him. That actually was a cameo. I think it's called the Princess Bar. He opened, like, not only did he frequent at that bar, I think he at some point owned that bar. So that's a nice little cameo. But Madripoor is interesting because Madripoor, now I can't remember if it's just a country. Now it is a country, but like it's like an island, essentially, because of the way it is. It's an island. It's a criminal island. It's like Tortuga. I always say that word wrong, but you know what I mean. Like in Pirates of the Caribbean, Tortuga, this lawless place where, you know, where scum and villainy is. But in comics, and it seems like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you don't just hear about Madripoor. Madripoor is only a place you really know about if you're a criminal. If you're in Madripoor, you're either on the run or up to no good. It's really those two things. And it is a seedy city that has criminals of all sorts, that all vices of all sorts. That is a jungle that is dog eat dog, separated by high town and low town, which is literally high collar crime versus low fucking crime. It's kind of like Cyberpunk, really. It's like a less technologically advanced version of Cyberpunk. That's what I could describe Madripoor as. And like the cool thing about Madripoor is that my mind just swirled with ideas for it that Marvel should maybe look into. Now, you don't introduce something like this without coming back to it. I'm sure they'll come back to it one day, though, to be fair, you never came back to Xandar after the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so who fucking knows if they'll ever come back to this location. I really hope they do. But the concept of this seedy, crime-riddled place, a place where if you're a criminal, you can make a huge reputation in this location. A place that just holds all kinds of different people, like nobody here is innocent. No one is innocent. Everyone is out for themselves. It's dog eat dog. There was a location. Now, put it in the comment section. If you ever watch the anime Black Lagoon, the area that the Black Lagoon Company, whatever, I believe that's what they were called, the Black Lagoon Company, the area that they're in, they're like on this island. And this island's like this crime-riddled island with all these assassins and hitmen and stuff. And it's like got no holds barred. It's like if you go there, like nobody from any other country, no government, nobody can come and get you from there. It's just you can go. It's just like it's like the most dangerous place in the planet to be. But also, if you're the best location to be, if you're a criminal on the run. But like, and there was some place like that in Black Lagoon, and I love that concept. And in my mind, as I was watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 for like the third time. Like, I really loved that episode, people. I really did. It started dawning on me. I'm like, man, there's so much Marvel. If they chose to, which they probably won't, because, let's face it, Marvel has had, the one thing that I will say Marvel has had a hard time with, other than the Spider-Man games, is video games and expanding its IP outside of the comic books and the movies and the TV shows. You know, like, there's not a lot of great animation there's not too many great animation shows. There's not a lot of great video games outside of the ones made by Sony. So honestly, they could do something with Madripoor. Like, oh man, like in my mind, I was like, there's two things they could do. I would love a Madripoor show that's just about some rags to riches criminal rising to the top of Madripoor, doing all he can to rise up. Now, granted, it'd be hard to do that PG-13. So I highly doubt they would do that one, but I think that would be a cool concept, like a real Breaking Bad style, like in terms of stylistically show, like just like this awesome show they could do. They really could do something with Madripoor. And the more crazy concept, do an open world video game, Grand Theft Auto style, in Madripoor. Like, I think like you could do it like Cyberpunk. I think you could do it like Cyberpunk, exactly like Cyberpunk, because it's the same aesthetic, it's the same seedy criminal ridden area. And looking at Madripoor, looking at the island, looking at how massive it is, and looking at how many territories look different. Like, you just saw the cities up front, but behind it was a lot of jungle. So like, there's different terrains, there's different areas. I'm telling you, man, there is something to be done with Madripoor, at least making it the centerpiece of a video game. Like, I mean, I could see you doing something like Hawkeye goes undercover in Madripoor, and you have to, you know, find some guy. Like, there's so many different things you could do with Madripoor that I just want to see something done. I want to see it explored more. Like, you know, like, I mean, granted, you're gonna see the I guess the what was it, the power broker. The power broker is the ruler of Madripoor, who he's gonna be revealed by the end of this, which I'm about 90% sure he's the government head of the GCR, I think it's called the GCR. I'm pretty sure he's the head of that, so that will be revealed. So, you know, you might, you know, some of that magic might get, you know, rubbed off on it when you know the guy who's running the show. But honestly, I love the way that place looked. I love the concept behind Madripoor. I love the way it looked so much that I'm just like, I want to see more stuff. Generally speaking, all of what I just said was just me fanboying. Really, I just want to see more Madripoor. I just want to see it used more, even in video game form, or even in more comics, which is probably used in a lot of comics. I've only known it for the Wolverine aspects. It's probably used in a bunch of comics, but I just want to see more of it. I think that's an awesome concept. I think there's some really fun things to do with it. I think I've always been struggling with Marvel video games, because I've always said that Marvel characters, outside of like, there's only a couple Marvel characters that could actually hold an open world game, and it would make any logical sense that you don't just fly off somewhere. It's why, you know, it's why I don't know how they can make an open world Flash game, and that's why you make an open world Superman game, because it's just like, you kind of, like, you can make a Flash game, you can make a Superman game, but you just start going being a bit weird that you know, it doesn't feel right, because it feels like you should be able to do more because you're the Flash or Superman. Unlike Batman and Spider-Man, which it makes sense that you can do an open world game with them, they're not going anywhere that fast. This is the area they're in, and this is where they are. The only other characters I could think of that could be an open world game in Marvel, the only other character is Daredevil, because he's in the same boat as Batman. But thinking outside of the box here, you could do an open world game in Madripoor because of how big and expansive that world is. The fact that this is a location where you can have you have an excuse for any bad guy to be, because all criminals come to this place to lay low or to start up something or to find people to help them with something. It writes itself. They gotta do something with this in a video game form. I loved Madripoor. I love the way it looked in the MCU. I hope they come back to this place eventually. I'm not gonna hold my breath, because as I said, it would not be the first time the MCU introduced an interesting looking world, interesting looking thing, and did not come back to it. You know what I mean? Like, I highly doubt they're gonna go back to Nowhere. Well, they did go back to Nowhere, but I highly doubt they did not. I don't think they went back to Nowhere in Guardians 2. They didn't go back to Nowhere until Infinity War. They haven't gone back to Xandar yet. They showed a glimpse of Xandar in Guardians 2, but they never went back. So I'm not going to hold my breath for them to go back in the MCU, though I really hope they do, because I thought Madripoor was fascinating, dude. It was fascinating. It was cool looking. I want to go back there. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please don't like, subscribe, and what ideas do you have? Or did you like Madripoor as much as I did? And if you did, what ideas do you have for the MCU to do with Madripoor? It doesn't matter what form it is. If it's video game, comic book, like some idea. Because I really want to see that fucking place explored more. That's such an interesting thing to have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is this place. Because now you have an excuse for bad guys to go. You have some place to, you know, for like, you have a villain hub. You have a villain sanctuary. So now you have an area that you can really do some damage with, and you can explain where bad guys coming from. You can explain, like, that literally can explain so much. Where are you getting all your crew from, Madripoor? How'd you find the space to make this thing without anyone noticing? I was in Madripoor. Like, Madripoor has become a great location in the MCU, and I want to see more of it. Thank you guys for making a Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. Sorry, I might have cut that other video a bit short. It kind of started acting weird, and I had to cut it off. But anywho, thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.